Hey, hey, hey. How's
Hey,
everyone
hey,
doing?
good evening. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Good.
Doing good. Y'all all doing good and great?
Blessed and highly favored.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to everybody tuning in tonight. Welcome to Bounceback Wednesdays. Facebook user, hey, good evening. We would love to know who you are. It's telling us you're just Facebook user. What's your name? Where are you? Where are you from? Please be sure to share. I'm Jamila Hanif. I'm your host.
I'm Fatima Hanif.
I'm Iman Hanif.
And we're the
And
Hanif sisters. Welcome to Bounce Back Wednesday. What's up, Precious? What's up? What's up, girl? How you doing? How you doing? Everybody tuning in, please be sure to share everywhere. This platform is used to raise awareness about ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. Kaiser and the CDC conducted a study between 1995 97 on 17,800 of their HMO members. This happened in Southern California. So just think of the population or the demographics of those that have the HMOs at Kaiser. A lot of them don't look like us. And so they trace back a lot of their health issues, obesity, chronic illnesses, lung disease, heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, stroke. They trace it back to their adverse childhood experiences because trauma creates toxic stress. And if not addressed, toxic stress can cause chronic illnesses. They are 10 indicators that they ask the people that they surveyed. They ask them 10 questions. Fatima is going to share what those 10 questions are. So if these things occur to you, if you experience them between the ages 0 and 18, and let me tell you this as well, they say that it had to happen within your household, but this stuff could happen in schools and in the community, but in somebody else's household. I'm sorry, Fatima.
It's okay. The 10 indicators are physical abuse, physical neglect, emotional neglect, sexual abuse, mental illness, separation of a parent due to incarceration or divorce, and substance abuse.
Substance abuse. So if you've experienced any of
And those
those,
are the baseline indicator.
okay. Zimbabwe, did you know that um, experiencing foster care, did you know that that's an ACE?
yes, I do. I do. I took
Okay.
the test last time when you gave it to me, and
Uh,
I experienced a lot of emotional stress and trauma in regards to being in the foster care system.
okay, okay. We're gonna get into that. What made you accept the invite to Bounce Back Wednesday?
Well, for starters, you're doing amazing work. You out here in the trenches, Jamila. I see you got the squad, the sisters, the Hanif sisters. Um, but just the fact that you're doing some amazing work in the communities, and we got to support each other. I got to support you. You come through for me. I got to support you. I have to rally with you. And I just love the fact that you're touching on a topic that impacts all of us, and still currently impacts all of us. Trauma impacts us in ways we can't even imagine. Some of us don't even realize we're going through trauma. And so anytime you extend an invite, you already know I'm coming out.
I appreciate you. I really appreciate you.
Yes.
When you, go ahead, Fatima. I'm sorry. My bad.
No,
You said
yes, we appreciate you. Thank you.
you got your this face on. It's stuff. I'm sorry. It froze.
It
Um,
happens. I got hood in that. I said thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Zimbabwe. When you took the ACEs questionnaire, what was your score?
I forgot what my score was, but it scored pretty high,
Mhm.
and it was a trip to go through each category. And I didn't go through any physical abuse, but just the what I what I marked off, I was just like, wow, I went through all of this. And a lot of people they wouldn't be sitting where I'm at right now. They would either be in jail or they would be dead. Based on the series of events that I went through, losing my mother. First off, growing up in West Oakland in Ghost Town, going through violence, living in a poverty-stricken community, and then at the age of 13, losing my mother, being separated from my siblings, from my sisters, and moving to Reno, Nevada. So that's a whole nother layer to it, because I'm used to being around my people, Black people, brown people. Oakland is a melting pot, but just everything changed for me, and so it's a trip. I'm glad I'm here. I'm blessed to be here.
Man, because you're right. Some people, yeah, in the jail, just all kind of places. Man, so what was it for you? Because though there are these adverse childhood experiences, there's also these, they call them PACEs. So it's positive and compensatory experiences, which are like positive experiences. So what was it for you, man, that kept you out of jail?
Woo. First, the grace of God, and then also a community of people. For example, my cousin Mandel, he stepped in. My older cousin, he's 3 years older than me. He stepped in and supported me and was just always there. And then when I moved from Reno, I stayed in Reno for 2 years and moved back to Oakland. And then initially, I was supposed to come to Oakland for spring break, and I stayed with Stan, Mr. Fab, for those who don't know who I'm talking about. So, you know, I started telling Fab about what I was going through. Like, man, I'm not going to school. I'm not eating. I worked at McDonald's, and so that's how I used to feed myself. Right? I used to get all of the burgers towards the end of the shift and nuggets and whatever I could get, and that was my dinner. And so once I told him, he begged Dez, Mama Dez, you knew Mama Dez, and she got the biggest heart, and she said yes, and they invited me into their home, and from there, I got into a program called the Independent Living Skills Program, which supports foster youth and helps foster youth become self-sufficient. So I learned like a lot of life skills, how to apply for a job interview, how to dress for a job interview, soft skills that built up my confidence and self-esteem. And then in addition to that, I also went to group therapy, which when Des told me about it, she said, "You're going to go to group therapy." I went to Kaiser, and it was at first I was like, "I'm not crazy." Therapy has a negative connotation to it, but when I went, I was amongst my peers, and I was just like, "Dang, y'all going through this?" And I didn't know that there was a lot of similarities, although it wasn't the same exact things that we went through. It wasn't it was tragic when I went through what I went through, but when I went to therapy and when I went to ILSP and when I connected with family, it just changed the trajectory of where I'm at today.
What y'all thinking about Imani Fatima? Fatima always got a delay. There's always a delay on her. Look at her. Look at her. Looking like I don't even know. Look at her. You froze.
Oh yeah, she is
Yeah,
froze. She's watching.
There she go.
No, I'm just listening. I'm like, wow.
Just wow. Fatima,
Yeah.
wow. What you thinking? She froze. You know what? Yes, you are. Like
I feel like
I also I'll just step in.
Go ahead, Zimbabwe.
I was gonna say I also had a lot of anger issues, so I was like this close to getting into the streets, right? With the wrong influence, with me saying like I don't care about life anymore, and just going back to my hood and kicking it with people who was involved in all kind of other activities that wasn't positive. But I also always remember my core values and morals. Like my mom, she wanted to see me graduate from high school. That was her wish before she passed away. She said, "I want to live to see you and your brother graduate." So when that didn't happen, I always felt I had to, fulfill that wish. But I mean, just thinking about what I was going through, and I think about the youngsters now, the influence is so heavy, and the violence that we see in Oakland, Like
Mm-hmm.
they're doing totally opposite of what I did. You know what I mean? Because they don't care anymore. They're
Mm-hmm.
looking at their circumstances and they don't even realize that they're angry because they're living in a poor neighborhood, or there's the family's broken up, or they suffer from physical abuse or emotional abuse. They just
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to go out and get a gun, I want to shoot somebody, I want to hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just thankful that I didn't go on that other side of the spectrum. And it's, to be honest with you, it's still an everyday challenge. I have to do things to make sure that my mental right. I have to exercise. I have to read. I have to write. I
Mm-hmm.
have to be around people who are healthy for my mental health, because if not, I can easily go to that side.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. And I heard you say about how the kids nowadays are doing things opposite. And it's like they don't care. Could it be that they may feel as if they're not cared for, like they're not cared about, like the community is just the community don't care about them?
Absolutely, it's a combination of things. They feel like the community doesn't care about them, and they also understand, anybody in poverty understands, there are better and safer communities out there. There are suburbs, and they understand that, right? And so in their mind, they're asking themselves these questions like, why I got to be the one that don't have a father in my life, or a mother who don't care, who's on drugs,
Mm-hmm.
or why can't I go to a basketball camp, or why can't I go to this mentorship program because my mother can't pay for it, and I see other kids thriving and winning, right? And so
Right.
it's even on a larger scale. It's a systematic problem, and we all understand. Everybody on this call understands it's a systematic problem. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand that. They just see what's on the surface level, and they know a lot and they see a lot, and it's unfortunate because when I talk to people and they're like, "What's wrong with these youngsters?" I'm like, "It's not all on them. Like they whole respond that they should be held accountable for what they do. At the same time, this is just like, if you keep filling up water without a top, it's gonna overflow, and that's what's happened in Oakland. That's what's happened across the nation, all of these cities that are
Mm-hmm.
hood in the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gonna say something, Iman?
Yeah, I'm just sitting, I'm like, because I have two teenage boys, and I always take it very interest when um, a man comes on and talks about, what he's been through and his trauma, and then how he's, evolved and things. And um, again, raising boys, black young men
Mm-hmm.
in the society nowadays. I mean, for me, it's like they have their dad, but I'm still a single mom. They're still in the house with me, and when they want to go out, I'm afraid to let them go. So I know they kind of resist me a little bit because it's like, well, why, mom? Why we can't go? It's like we trying to live our we're trying to live our lives. Like what? And I think about when we were younger. And although we're girls, our moms, and then even with our brothers. I mean, my mom, she to save my brothers, she sent them away to other male family members, to help, especially at the times when my father was not in the house. And so just trying to figure out how to protect them, and at the same time not make them feel like they're missing out on something, you know. So it's I'm just listening and really taking it in, and it's actually teaching me something, because I know that it's doing something to them, me not allowing them to do some things. But it's like, I have two sons, and I see the news, and sometimes, I see the news, and then you see these young boys, these two brothers, right, that were sitting in the house. I don't know if you heard about
In
that
Berkeley,
story. Yeah,
was
and
it
they were
North
sitting in the
Oakland?
house, and they came in, and they walked in, and they shot the brothers. And I'm like, y'all not going to no house parties. We didn't go to house parties. Just things like that.
We
Just
do the house
Right,
parties.
and that's and we hey, I went to house parties,
Me too.
dangerous and all, but
Me too.
what you're talking about, that's vicarious trauma. You're
yeah.
witnessing something on TV, and it's trauma, and preventing you, but it's a safety mechanism as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's for your sons, it's like a catch-22. Like, you know, I want to be safe, you know, even though this world is in a scary place. I want to go out, although this world is in a scary place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they don't understand, and they tell the stories with that my sister has told them, that Fatima told them about us growing up, in Oakland and stuff. I mean, we saw a lot growing up in Oakland. I mean, a lot, a lot. I think a lot of females have, because we hung with guys, brothers and cousins and friends just from the neighborhood, and just seeing and building those relationships and seeing a lot of our friends, you know in the streets, whether it's selling drugs or at a sideshow, at a party, or being killed, at a really young age. So when my kids say that they've had friends that have, you know, been killed, it's just like, oh my God, how are you guys feeling about that? You
So
know?
I was thinking when I'm thinking about Zimbabwe, really, because do you all think there's not enough programs right now to serve our youth, like um, policies within state budgets that will provide funding for programs, like yearly funding for youth programs? What is it that you see? What is it that you don't see now that you had back in the day um, that helped you? That was a protective factor for you.
Definitely the Big Brother program was a big ordeal. Upward Bound, mentorship. That was a thing that was in my community, and there was all kinds of stuff. Festival at the lake. There were Hoop It Up. There were all kind of programs, reading
Right.
programs that I participated in. Yeah, hoop. Yeah, right. And
Ah,
so as I got older, I just started seeing these things disappear, and that's one of the
Right.
things that compelled me to create Building Bridges. But here's the thing: is that I also see too is that there's a lot of money that's out there, um, for non for programs to support youth, right? um, but they don't just come out and publicize it like politicians, local government officials, city officials. A lot of them don't come out and say, "Here's this grant. Here's this grant." I applied for a grant a couple of years ago, and one of my old colleagues told me about it. Like, "Hey, this will help support Building Bridges," and I'm like, "Why isn't this on social media from the from city of Oakland?" And so it's that's a whole nother conversation with politics. I don't want to, step into that arena, but it's a
yeah.
lot of stuff that's out there that they don't publicize.
Um, Man, hey, I need a grant writer. Somebody had a grant writer? Man, I got so many ideas that I just want to put into work. We got the team. We got the team now. Oh, the team is being built right now to really do some things that could really be everywhere, everywhere, because it's needed. So anybody a grant writer, let me know, please. um, Share more
So
about. Oh, what you gonna say, Ma? Go ahead.
I'll keep hearing him. I don't know. I mean, sorry if I don't know you guys, but building bridges, is that a
That's what I was about to just go into.
oh, okay? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for asking, Iman.
So what is building bridges?
So, Building Bridges is a movement that I created, and it started with bridging the gap between community and police through basketball. And one of the reasons I created it is because I had to check myself. Um, One time I was upset and I was just like, man, why is there so many why do black people, why do we keep getting killed? And then a question popped in my head like, well, what are you gonna do about it?
Hmm.
And then I started thinking about like ideas like, what's a creative way that we can bring this into fruition, right? And so I've seen it at city hall meetings and at other meetings with police and community, like everybody's like this. I mean, rightfully so, right?
Mhm.
But what can we do to help like break those barriers? So I said, okay, basketball is a universal sport that a lot of people, millions, billions of people love. I said, why don't I use basketball as a vehicle to help break the ice? And so I went to the Eastmont Oakland Police Station, and I spoke with at the time he was Deputy Chief LaRon Armstrong. He wasn't even a chief yet. So I had a conversation with him, and I was like, man, what would you think if we, did a basketball game between the community and police to help bridge the gap? He like, I'm with it. So he was like, you get the venue, it's green lighted. So of course I get home, I'm on the computer, I'm like, indoor venues. Soldier Town, which was Jam Town before, and which is Open Gym Premier now. I reached out to them, and I spoke with her name was Laura Lamison, and I shared my vision, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is incredible! I would love if you can host this event." Boom, boom. We set it up, and from there, that's when we kicked it off. And so I got community involved. I got people that I knew that was like, "Oh, I'm with it." And then I got a friend. She's from New York. Her name is Sarah Germany. She was like, she's a chef, and she was like, "I'll offer the juice bar to promote health." And so, like, once I got the green light and the venue, everything just started coming into place.
And look what it all started with. It started with you seeing a problem, you providing a solution, addressing it, like going to some, people you could partner up with, like who the problem is with, And it's funny because, and then it just took off, right? It took off. We so different, like people with visions and stuff, like just so different. There's a place for everyone. People talk about the politics and things and all of that, but it's like, okay, what are you out here doing to build relationships with people?
Right. I just want to comment too and add that half the people, like I reached out to, members at city halls, at city council, and they were asking me, are you asking for money? And I said, no, I'm asking for influence. Right. And so I messed them up with that one because they're so used to a lot of people coming in and saying, we need money for this. I said, no, I need your influence. And like everybody that I told, like 4 or 5 different people that, and they were all shocked. They was just staring at me like, this, we've never been approached like this. Like, you don't need our money, influence. Like that's bigger. If I have your influence and constituents, we can make this much bigger, right? So that was my vision. And then also changing the dynamics of how we interact and changing the environment. That's just like, for example, like a club. Like in a club, they're gonna cut the lights low, they're gonna incorporate alcohol, and people are gonna get comfortable once they start drinking, right? And so I think a lot of the times we forget as people, as Black people, we forget our own power, and we don't realize what we see on a daily basis and how we can be creative and change the dynamics. And so I said, we have a basketball game, we have 2 basketball games, we get Richmond, we get Alameda County Probation involved, we have a juice bar, we have a backpack giveaway, we have face painting for the kids. That's inclusive for everybody.
Was this on the news?
This was on the news in the first year. It was on the news, 2018.
Because I've seen this. I remember this.
It was definitely on the news. That's and thank you for asking. Another thing I wanted to mention too is Channel 2 News was on point. They was really supporting the event. I noticed that Channel 7, one of the reporters was asking me questions that didn't have nothing to do with the event. So I also noticed the racism in journalism. She asked me, what do you do? What do you do Monday through Friday? And I'm like, that has nothing to do with what's going on today. And right. And she couldn't believe that somebody from the community could do something like this, right? A lot of the times they imagine it's going to be a local government doing it, right? But for somebody that's a black man to do it, she's probably looking at me like, oh, he's a criminal. Why would he put something like this together, right? And so
majority of criminals that ain't trying to be playing with basketball with the police.
Yeah, so it was a trip. Like, this whole experience has taught me a lot. I'm still learning. I'm still a student of the game during this this journey and this process. But I'm excited. I'm excited about what's to come.
Don't stop.
It's gonna be big. I was able to
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Y'all got to come out next year.
Yeah, well, Fatima came.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I feel bad.
She was on point too. The juice bar.
The juice bar. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's the squad. Also, I want to add that we had 2K Games. I had 2 representatives from the video game company 2K Games, who makes NBA 2K, WWE 2K. They came out. So one flew in from Chicago and another one flew in from Austin, Texas. So just, if that's something that we can do collectively, imagine where we can take it. This is only next year will be year 4. It would have been year 5, but COVID, of course. Well, year 6 next year, but COVID, took us down. But just imagining the influence that it has and the people who are jumping on board and to have a partnership with the community first and foremost, and then with Alameda County Probation Department and OPD and 2K and other people behind the scenes. Like I'm not building bridges. Tawanda Gilbert, my sister's building bridges. Tisha Davis is building bridges. Jamila is building bridges. Mr. Fab is building bridges. Armando Cole is building bridges. Everybody at the juice bar that you mentioned, Sarah Germany, so many people that plays an intricate role. I just created the vision, but I need a team to make it happen. And that's how it becomes successful.
Yeah. Don't forget to shout out your boy. I just love supporting artists. Shout out your boy. Because he was performed at halftime.
Ricky Antonio. Shout outs Ricky Antonio. Oh, and also my sister, Yanine Jackson, Dr. Action Jackson. She's been with me from the beginning of this, and I couldn't do it without her. So shout outs to Yanine Jackson. Big shout out to Ricky Antonio. That's my brother. We go way back, like 20 years, and we got this incredible, like dope artistry, foster youth relationship thing going, and so it's dope. And he's collaborating with Mr. Fab on music, and we're all tied in together. So it's a trip.
He got a new video out which was today with the whatever their E40 little things, burritos.
Oh yeah.
He hella played too much. That was hilarious.
He's highly talented. Like Ricky Antonio, I'm a friend of his, but I'm also a fan. Like he can rap,
right?
He can do comedy, like just all around, and it's just natural. Like he's really gifted, and I'm excited to see where he's gonna go, and I'm also excited to continue to collaborate with him. Like that dude, he got the juice.
I wanted to share your video real quickly because I want people to know what it is, the skills you have when you're talking about the art stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
It's important. So let me share this video real quick. If I can find it. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there it goes there. Let me see. Boom. Boom. Let's make it bigger.
Wanted to create a behind the scenes show to show the work that I do in film and philanthropy, the connections that I have. 40 stands for me being in my 40s. Files and me archiving everything, and Crack the Code is making what appears to be impossible and making it possible. It should look for the connections that I have with people in the industry, in the world of philanthropy, They should look for music. They should look for fun moments, small interviews with people who are doing incredible work in this world, whether it's locally or it's on a national level. The audience should look for something to be inspired by, something fun, just something that will keep them entertained. And also, the 45's Crack the Code is a prequel of what's to come with other projects that I'm working on. Show is showing that whatever I can do, people can do. There's no red or blue pill that you take, and then all of a sudden your goals become, into fruition or they're manifested. You got to put in the work. You got to have connections. You got to be able to know how to navigate through challenges. You have to fail, but not give up. You have to be inspired. You have to push yourself. You have to have a team of people pushing you, and so it's important to show that um, through anything that you do in life, it's going to be a challenge. But if you don't give up and you continue to learn and you continue to progress, that you will win. And I'm showing that on my behind the scenes show on film. Is 45's Crack the Code, the Midwest edition. That's the first one. It's currently on my website, www.zdaviesfilms.com. You can also look for 45's Crack the Code, the Bridge Edition. On the lookout for the documentary, The Courageous Oaklanders. Be on the lookout for the Black Project. Pretty excited about 45's Crack the Code and its journey. Yeah, and that's it. This is Zimbabwe Davies, and you're watching 45's Crack the Code, the Director's Cut. And I'm out. Peace.
Okay. So, tell us more about that.
So it started. I was hired as a writer and producer for a documentary called The Black Project. This in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And so I worked in conjunction with Dr. Donovan Roy. He's currently the diversity, equity, and inclusion of medicine at Wayne State University in Detroit. And so he hired me to be a producer and writer for a documentary about more Black students matriculating and going into the medical field, and also, in just improving social capital and social network in the medical field. It's important for people to look like us in this field. A lot of barriers are caused because, we have trust issues. We go to the doctor. A lot of us are scared to go to the doctor because we don't even realize that if it's somebody that don't look like us, we don't trust them. And so the goal of the film is to make sure that we have more Black people in the medical field. There's so many different layers to the field, to the documentary. I can't wait till it come out, but that's the premise of the documentary. So 40 Files, Crack the Code came about because I wanted to track like my behind the scenes journey, going out. I went to like 6 different cities in Michigan, like Kalamazoo, Ann Arbor, Lansing, Michigan State University. And then I also went to Chicago, Illinois, which I've always been fascinated about the culture, the food, and so the audience gets a chance to see my journey out there while I'm networking. Just behind the scenes footage, going to restaurants, connecting with doctors and nurses and mentors, and just giving people a snapshot of what's to come on the project. And so 40 Files, Crack the Code. I look at it as me being the Black 007, doing something that appears to be impossible, but making it possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, then. All right, Brother Davies. All right.
Do you have any books?
No, I've written one, and it's like been delayed just because I've been working on so many other projects. But I do plan. That's one of the things that I have to accomplish, is
Okay.
to publish the book and put it out.
Hmm. Do you think this
Okay.
worth
I can't wait.
Oh, thank you.
Her delay. I always gotta wait a minute or something after she.
I'll definitely do it. And now, especially that you said that, I'll definitely get back on it for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Please.
See, I forgot what I was gonna ask.
you said see.
Well, let me ask a question then. So you writing a book. So so if you had to write a book tomorrow, what would be the title, or what would you write about, basically? What would you write about?
I would write about my experiences. It would be like a self-help book. So I would write about my experiences, and I would also tie them to goals. Because I would want the book to help people. I wouldn't want I feel like I still got a lot of living to do to write a book just about like my whole life story. I know I'm not super young, but I'm not super old either. I'm 41 years old, and so I still got living to do. But I wanna help people. And the reason why I would write a self-help book is because, in society, so many people feel defeated when they want to accomplish a goal. They're like, "Oh, how can I start a business, or how can I start doing this?" And I think I would be able to really write that and inspire people with the book.
Right.
Okay. So would you say that the writing and everything, the film, the art pieces that you do, that they're therapeutic? Like, do they help you in any way?
Yes. If it wasn't for writing, I wouldn't be here. Writing is therapeutic. A lot of stuff that I write, I write from a place of pain, happiness, what I want to see, things that I want to see in the world. And so it's definitely a release for me to put my pen to the paper, listen to some Sade, some Anita Baker, some Dizzy Gillespie, you know what I'm saying, Luther Vandross, old school R&B artists, new school R&B artists, light some candles and just sit up here and zone out. Like that's what's helped me get to where I'm at today. And I'm so glad that I picked up a pen and paper. And then also watching Stan, he wrote so many of his raps, and I'm talking about he was 13, 12 years old writing raps, and now he's a gold and platinum artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, has gold and platinum plaques and doing everything, from having a dope having a dope air store, going across the country, working with every artist you can imagine.
But first it started with Fab.
Right.
Who was the first girl in Fab?
You was.
Yeah.
So look, hold on.
Yeah.
For people, all right. So I got to break it down because you're making it like an inside thing. So we had a crew in high school, and we were called the Fab Four. And so Jamila was the first girl in our crew. And I'm gonna drop another bomb. Me and Jamila dated as well for a short period of time.
How long? You bringing up high school stuff?
Look, no, but look though.
That don't count.
Hey, you was mad at me for years, so it counted for something. Like, you was hot. Like,
she needed to build that bridge, huh?
I burnt it though. I ain't gonna lie. I burnt it. I burnt it.
If I'm mad at somebody,
I broke her heart. I'm not gonna lie. I apologize. I was young.
I think I remember you.
Yes, that's why. Yeah, you remember me.
I was up there to fight you then, huh?
You was up there to fight, but you gave me some fighting words. You gave me some fighting words. But yeah, Jamila, she treated me different for a long time. But you know what's even funnier than that?
In high school.
Look, this is another joke I'm gonna add to it, right? So before the basketball game, I was dropping the promo videos on social media. So Jamila sent a comment, she gonna speak what's on her mind. She don't care about no politically correct, none of that. So she goes in the comments, she's just like, I'm feeling some type of way. I said, so I hit her up. I'm like, I was gonna ask you to play in the game. I said, you thought I was gonna break your heart twice?
Oh gosh.
Like, come on. So everything come back full circle, Jamila. Everything come back full circle.
It's okay, Mimi.
I hear you.
That's so cute.
we on the best of terms now. You know, we out here doing some golden stuff. You know,
we good. I was excited to play in the game, though I really didn't play. I was yeah. Tell you, that was the night. The night before was my birthday. It was my birthday, and I was like, I don't even feel like. I really did not even feel like playing. I was so
I remember.
tired.
But you thought I was playing the whole time. You thought that I wasn't gonna have you in the game until I sent you a picture with your name on the back of the jersey.
Yeah.
Then that's when I woke your game up. You was like, "Oh, it's real." You're like, "Oh, it's real."
Yeah. I had to get there.
That is so just to piggyback, hold on, because I don't think they understand you being a member of this group that you was a rapper.
I wasn't a rapper. I'm talking
about Jamila.
Jamila, she didn't rap, but she was the first girl in the Fab crew in the Fab Four. Fab Five.
See, we talked. We wasn't dating, because if we were dating, he would have known I was a rapper. Okay. He would have known. Me and Fab used to always share. He used to be, when I used to write something, he would be the first one that I would call it and spit it to. He'll be the first one. I love him. Oh my God. I'm talking about, really, he has inspired me so much. I really think about when I was going to school at Santa Rosa JC, I would have to ride that long bus ride. Fab will be on the phone with me the whole time, just talking about what he's doing and stuff, like my brother. Like, he was really, hella encouraging and stuff.
Still like that too, and still like that, still encouraging, and you know, to have a store in downtown Oakland, you know, he could have went anywhere else. At first, he had it on his block. You know what I'm saying? On 45th, he had a store on his block, and then he moved downtown. But it's like he could have went anywhere else, and he still mingled with the people. Like anytime you go in that store and he there, he's just a regular person. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people I've met in the industry, you know, entertainment industry, they be so funny style. And so just to see him be who he is with all of the success that he has, that's incredible.
He's the same person. Every time I see him, and I would see him, I remember when he got they named his day, the mayor, he was at, what was that club downtown Oakland next to Jeffrey's, where they gave him his day.
The Complex. I think it was.
Yeah, it was that Complex, and the mayor was there. I can't remember the mayor's name, but she was the Asian lady, the really short Asian lady.
Jane Kwan.
Yeah. When she gave him, when they, you know, he had the little party that day, but Stanley.
I think it's Fab Day or something like that.
Yeah, I can't think of what it is. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Stanley Cox Day. I think it's Stanley Cox Day.
I think he has his own day.
He would not have them put it in his name. Okay, anyways, I'm sure he wouldn't. They're probably Fabby Day or something like that.
I don't know.
Okay, so y'all throwing everything off. I'm just
y'all want to talk about the Fab Four.
Well, you need to be clear. I'm still stuck on the dating and that part. You gotta be clear, okay?
I gotta be clear about what it was. What it was. And you held that against me forever.
Yeah, I did.
She didn't. I noticed the next year I would try to engage with her and talk to her, and she'll just be like, "What's up?"
She was not.
I feel that energy.
When she got a grudge.
She got a grudge, like, and she wasn't like it wasn't like she was mean or nasty, but I can feel her energy. You know how you can just feel her energy, like somebody ain't rocking with you. That's what I felt. And so yeah,
I'd be a real asshole. A lot of people don't know that about me. I'll be so sweet. Oh, I can be so sweet. But if I'm betrayed or, you know, I really do good. If I feel betrayed or any kind of way,
that equal nice gonna have that equal mean. People don't get it.
Well, talk to me. You do not exist. I'm working on that. Okay, I'm working on it. It's a lot of things that I am working on. Okay, cool. So writing saved your life. So a lot of people, you know, journaling is very important.
It's a release.
Oh no, I just wanted to clear something up, that it is Stanley Cox, aka Mr. Fab Day. Just so you know.
And that's him being humble. That's him, and that's him being humble and letting them know, like, I'm still
Stanley
Stanley,
Cox.
right?
Because I call him Stanley. I don't call him Mr. Fab. When I say him, hey Stanley, hey sis. But Saturday, February 8th is his day.
Okay.
I think that's his birthday.
So right.
No, it's not his birthday. His birthday
His
January
birthday is January
23rd.
23rd. Same day as Ethan.
Okay, my bad.
I
He
give
is
him a
very
shout out
young.
on his birthday every year.
I know, like we just jumped on it. Like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
I want no smoke.
Him and Ethan have the same birthday. I give him a shout out the same day. The same day I do. At the same time I do Ethan, so his birthday sometime.
Music. So music is therapeutic, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But here's the thing too, it's like, you know, when I'm listening to Anita Baker or Sade or Freddie Jackson, it's taking me back to that time when I was growing up in West Oakland. And a lot of the times I write from that place of when I was a kid. And like, I have a photographic memory. My memory is impeccable. I can remember moments like yesterday. And so I'm always inspired by those times. I'm inspired by a lot of the good times. I'm inspired by the you know, the pain and tragedy that I went through. And that helps me dig deeper and write content that that resonates with people, and even if they can't connect with it, they learn something new about me or the journey that I'm on.
All right, brother Davies. Okay. Why somebody gonna say Virgo? Yes, he's a Virgo.
Because it's from the heart.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
Virgo, wow. August 23rd. Maybe that's why it didn't work. Our birthday is 4 days apart. We was both Virgos. Maybe it was too much Virgo energy.
Oh my God!
You got that splash of Leo.
The Virgo man.
Jesus.
You know, it took time for me to mature and get it together, but you know, I'm good now.
Oh God.
Pretty official.
Yeah, you seem very grounded. You seem very grounded.
I do my best. I do my best to be grounded because I don't never want to take anything for granted.
That's your mama.
I never want to take anything for granted, and tomorrow is not promised, right? I never want to go through life acting like I'm this or I'm that. You know, you can be knocked. Anybody, the most creative, gifted, talented person can be knocked down. You know what I mean? And so, and there's a lot of stuff that I see that humbles me watching it vicariously, like the violence that's going on in Oakland, the shooting at the school. Like, that's humbling to watch because, or people that you hear about that get killed, like that can still be me, right? I can still, I'm not exempt from none of that. And so, you know, me being grounded is very important. It's very important for me to be grounded because I'm not invincible, and I'm a human being. And so I make mistakes, I have flaws. And so being grounded is important to me. And I don't take this for granted because I grew up in a community where half my friends died and didn't make it. And so for me to be where I'm at, to travel the country and do my work, to inspire my community, to do work in my community, to go and do interviews like this, to be on, you know, KBLX radio and different stations, and, you know, have actress friends and things like that. I never take that for granted. I never take it for granted because it could have went a whole nother way.
Oh, you compared us to KBLX? That's what's up. Okay.
Absolutely. You got that soul, right? Jamila, you got soul. And look, Jamila, she got the Neo sister action going. She got the dreads, and you feel me? Looking gorgeous. And so, you know, you got that Neo soul action going.
Oh my goodness. But hey, what's funny?
Zimbabwe. Nothing. You are beautiful, girl. I tell you beautiful.
I tell her that all the time.
Even when you got crust in your eyes, I let you know how beautiful you are.
I tell that all the time.
Before she brush her teeth.
But Zimbabwe,
yes.
What would you tell someone that's living in fear? What tips or strategies would you give someone that's still like living in fear of trying to reach their goals and everything?
One of the things that I do is I ask people about a time that they were in that space before and how did they overcome it, right? Because I think we also forget as people that we overcome so much, you know, and from babies, when we fall, we get right back up, right? We get older, we get our heart broke, we go through death, and we go through life, right? And sometimes we forget that. And so I always ask them, think about times that you went through. It doesn't have to be a tragedy. I'll frame it as a challenge. Think about a challenge that you went through, and what did you do to overcome it? Who was in your corner to support you? You know, what light did you pull out of yourself to get out of that situation? And then when they start to think like, dang, I did get over there, like I got over that too. I can do this. And I think that the fear just comes from failing, right? And we all fail and we all make mistakes. Uh, but if you never try, you'll never know. And we only get this one lifetime.
Right.
Like there's no rewind button. There's no, oh, hold on, let me go back into, unless you know Doc from Back to the Future, then you can go back and change some things. But other than that, it's life continues to go forward, right? And so it's about
Right.
knowing what you can accomplish, knowing the fears you got past, and then recognizing your power. Like we all have a power. You know, Jamila, I see her power all the time, and I big her up for the work that she does. I'm calling y'all Triple H. You know what I'm saying? The Triple H sisters. And I mean, just I love the support. It started with her. I remember the last time we did an interview was her, and I'm just like, oh, it's two more of y'all, and then it's just like she's creating an army, and I'm always on board to support Jamila.
Before Jamila, there was us.
Exactly. Before
Thank
Jamila
you.
was raw.
Jamila
She's
is
like,
the oldest.
I gotta throw that in there.
Jamila's the oldest. Yeah, she is.
She's like, I gotta throw that one in there.
Jamila
She's
is
like, we was here before you.
No, it's okay. The young one is, I don't know
I'll be-
something about the young ones. It really is. I'm the baby girl. And I just learned it's like me is like they're within me, you know? Like
Right.
Aww.
I love I love that. Smooth with it.
yeah. Give them a little compliment.
What's up?
Hi, Ray.
What's up, man?
It's a girl.
That's a
She's
girl.
Oh, I didn't. Okay,
yeah.
How you doing,
Right.
sweetheart? Let me switch that up. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? Gorgeous.
She just looked like her daddy.
I had to change that up real quick.
Ray, slang your little hair, okay?
How you doing,
Swing your hair,
pumpkin?
right? Did she start swinging it? Oh,
Okay, I seen her hair swinging. At first, I didn't see the swinging action, so yeah, my bad.
It's okay.
okay.
Anyway,
No problem.
I get it.
It's okay.
I call
This
her
is- this
man.
is great,
Hey,
though.
man. Hello, man.
I'm glad you had me come on tonight, Jamila.
It's all good.
I ain't gonna lie though, when you schedule, look, when I seen the post last time I was supposed to be on, I was like, wait, in my feelings. Cause I'm sitting there scrolling through social media and I'm like, I thought I was your guest.
Yeah,
I'm like, who is this? I'm like, man, let me just politely hit her up and say, oh, are we I try to do it hella smooth, like, we going on next week or what's happening here?
I forgot.
But I love what you're doing. Like you have like you keep booking guests and you building a fan base. I'm a Jamila fan, and so keep doing your thing and don't trip off of none of these haters and people, trying to bring you down because it's their job to distract you and make you lose sight of your goals and what your intended purpose is.
Thank you. I think you need to clear up the dating piece. I think.
I've been off that for a minute. Like what? You still on it, Jamila? What's up? You still? What I gotta clear up?
You gotta let it go.
You gotta clarify it. You gotta clarify. Yeah, I felt bad though too. Like I was like, dang, I really broke this girl heart. Like, but when you with the crew, like,
just
like when you with the crew, when I was with the crew, it was just like, it's just a normal thing. But I'm just like, damn, she's a human being and got feelings. And that next year, you let me feel it though. You was like, you wasn't rocking with me, and I knew you wasn't rocking with me when you and Theo was pretty tight. And I was like, dang, how come I can't be friends? How they friends? And I'm like, yeah, I ruined it. I messed up.
I wonder what, you know what? If my future husband is out here listening, okay, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that I get along with males. It don't have to be nothing going on, absolutely nothing going on. I'm just like that. I'm just tight like that. Like
You
that's
are.
how I am. Like, and I have a lot of friends. I thank God for my friends who girlfriends accept me and really like there's no insecurities at all. They know I don't want nothing to do with them. Like, like that's my boy. I was a huge tomboy when I was younger. I was a
Not no
tomboy.
more. You ain't no more.
Jamal. I mean Jamila.
I hung with boys. So it was Jamal. Who said that?
I'm hella mad.
Fatima. Yeah, but it's okay.
That was Jamal.
So Jamila, I got a question for you.
Heels and
I got a question for you.
Go for
What
it.
do you foresee yourself doing, like major projects in the next year or two?
I don't want to share nothing.
Okay.
Just watch.
Okay.
Because of her haters.
Watch.
Your haters?
Yeah.
You think some of your haters on here right now watching you like,
you can't share, nowadays you can't share every, and it's crazy, and it's very unfortunate that some things you just can't share with people.
That's
you
true.
have to keep them to yourself. You have to execute. You have to do what you got to do behind the scene, and then execute them.
No,
I agree with that. Like 90%. The other 10%, like for me, my style is so unorthodox. Like my style is so unorthodox. By the time you try to like replicate, it's just I'm gonna be on to something else.
Yeah, Fatima, calm down. But the latest thing that I did, that was very personal to me, like really just seeing all this violence and stuff, understanding the violent pieces. Growing up in Oakland, the violence, just look at the body count.
Every day.
Right now is ridiculous.
Yeah. Every day.
Somebody near and dear to my heart is in prison for murder. And so there's a program called Alternative to Violence, and it's in the prisons. And for me, it was like, y'all got this here in the prisons? Like, this is something we need on the outside, like to prevent this from happening,
Right.
So 3 years ago, and it's funny because today the memories popped up when the first day that I went to go to through the training to become a facilitator. Just today it popped up. But that's something that I just launched out here, creating a chapter, Solano County's Alternative to Violence Project. And we are creating facilitators, youth facilitators, adult facilitators, community-based organizations, executive directors are becoming facilitators. But we're doing what we can do to not only just reduce the violence, but prevent the violence if we could by teaching people about the importance of really emotional intelligence, being okay with sharing how you feel, community building, getting to know one another, so when we see each other out, it's, we can talk about things, even if it is some kind of funk or anything, like, all right, let's talk about it. Let's, have a solution without resorting to violence.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's dope. That's dope. And it does need to be outside of the prison, but we all know the prison is capital based. They make a lot of money, and so they got the influence, they got the pull to bring those programs in. They got a whole warden who can say, "Oh, this program we're going to have it in here, buddy."
But what's funny, and how I'm about to say, what's funny about it? Yeah, it's volunteer. It's all volunteer. So those AVP facilitators that go inside of those prisons, volunteers. Volunteers, all volunteer work. We was doing trainings with just 18 hours. Volunteer. We didn't get paid for it. It was volunteer work.
See, that's a 45 crack the code moment right there, because you going in there and you doing the work and you doing what's appearing to be impossible with making it possible.
Listen, it's a trip. It's a trip. It's a trip. It's a lot. Like, I don't need the money to do anything. Like, yes, I would love to have the money, but when it's things that need to get done, I'm not somebody that complain about doing things. I'm gonna find a solution, and I'm gonna do all I can to make it with God and everybody that want to be involved.
From the heart.
Right.
From the heart.
Straight up. And you're gonna continue to be blessed tenfold because of that mindset and your spirit around that.
Okay, God. All right. Fatima, is anything you guys want to say? Any last?
Thank you for accepting the invitation. and sharing what it is that you do and sharing yourself with us and your viewers. It was nice to see you again on the positive side of
On the
things.
positive side, thank you for having me. I'll continue to be on the good side, on Jamila's good side. Nah, but thank you for having me.
I'll be praying for you,
It's an
brother.
honor. It's an honor to be on this show, and it's an honor to be in the presence of three incredible women and just doing great work. And Jamila, like I said, anytime you need to hit me up, even if it's just a conversation, you know what I'm saying? I know them haters, trust me, I go through the same thing. But just stay focused
Right.
and stay on your path,
Right.
and you're gonna
Right.
continue to hit your marks
Thank you.
Right.
God is great. God is great.
all the time.
Yeah. What's for you is for you. God got you.
Yep. Yep.
Amen.
Anything? Any last thing? Don't ask no.
No, thank you, Zimbabwe. Thank you for coming out. I enjoyed your energy. I love your demeanor. I love how grounded you are. You know, that's the goal for myself. I'm so hyperactive, but I'm working on getting there one day.
I'm gonna be scared if you do.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Fatima.
You are.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for accepting the invite. Thank you for having my back. Thank you for the support. Thank you for just the amazing work that you're doing in Oakland, doing what you can to build community through fun, music, health, the entertainment. That's
Right.
yeah, keep going.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely will. As long as God keeps me here, I'll be doing the work.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. No, Fatima. No.
Okay, thank you guys for joining us this evening.
All right,
on
y'all.
Wednesday.
All
We
right.
are here every
I'm hella
Wednesday
mad.
with a new guest.
Look, she got her head like, hold on. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Thank y'all for having me. I will be in touch, and let's continue to rock out, y'all.
Yeah.
Peace out. Peace. Okay.
Yeah, attitude, Fatima.
You got attitude, Fatima?
Still live, so
You
don't.
ain't got no attitude. Okay, good night,
No.
y'all. I gotta go.
I was gonna tell him I enjoyed his at the game meeting the chief. Remember? And I was like, dang, I know his face, but it's from watching the news.
No, can you stop? We are still live. First of all.
Oh, are we?
So that's all that was.
Girl, that's hella funny.
Dang, and I said I gotta. Well, I do. I gotta use the restroom. I'm gonna hold it. Sorry.
All right. Anyways, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Please be sure to share, like, love. She played too much. Y'all, me and Zimbabwe talk, y'all. We talked. Okay? Somebody gonna put in the comments. They talked about me.
Because you was happy.
Oh my goodness.
But listen, y'all, tune in next week, next Wednesday. 7:30.
Love you too, whoever that is. Okay,
Good
y'all.
night, y'all.
Good night.